Hello, wherever and whenever you are, and welcome back. Welcome back to the Underdark, the most friendliest of places. Sorry, it sounds so strange. Welcome back to the Underdark, everyone. Congratulations, you're still here. It is wonderful to be back playing again. We had a bit of a break over the holidays, and we have jumped back into things here as we are kicking off the new year and kicking off all of our adventures again. It is an absolute pleasure to be sharing it with these lovely players of mine down here, and all of you over there in chat as well. A big hello to Club TR and Pops welcoming in one of our Quincy's Tavern visitors. Buns, of course, was in that game too. Good times, good times. And Hans, my friend. I hope that our Dark Queen Gorgonzola is growing stronger every day and will soon take over the world. And that, let's see, who else we got down here? Baron Dragonborn, hello to you too. And 225 Games, excited, about to release their first ever D&D product. Exciting things coming from them. Have a look on our Discord if you are one of our followers and in there already. If you are not, please do consider giving us a follow, and we shall give you an invitation to our followers Discord where you can come and share your projects like 225 Games Up, and you can share art, and you can just generally chat about stuff and get news, sneak peeks about what's going on, exciting things coming up in the new year. One of them, the first big exciting project we've got coming up exactly 1 month from today, which I shall talk about more at the end of today's stream. Now, a massive, massive thank you also to those of you in the VOD squad. It's a pleasure to have you along for our adventures whenever and wherever you can. And, of course, if you would like to catch up with things and see what's going on, you can jump into our YouTube and have access to all of them. All of the things. Okay. Someone, Hans is lurking. Someone perception him. Let's find him. Find him. Only got a 14. It's beatable. It's beatable. Hang on, I'm going to try. My first check of the year. Boom! Ah, missed. He's sneaky one. He's a sneaky one. Anyway, as I was saying there, yes, do head on over there to the YouTube or Twitter if you would like to get news about what's going on. A little after our Discord, but the news does get there. And then you can see what's going on and enjoy our previous campaigns and catch up with what's been happening in the Underdark so far. Or if you're just joining us today for the first time, it is a pleasure to see you and welcome on in. Now, we would also like to say a massive thank you to those wonderful folks over at Sirenscape. It is a fantastic source of music and sound effects for your games, which you'll be hearing today. And you can head on over there to sirenscape.com and get yourself a free 30-day trial and get all of those amazing sounds in your game too. And if you want to keep doing that later on, around a physical table or online, such as there you got it. Well done, Corbin. You can become a Super Siren subscriber and have access to all of their stuff forever. Right, now, excuse me, a bit of a cough at the moment. So I shall be interrupting myself for a slip or two. Now, everyone, that said, let us get into things here. Oh, no, sorry, one more thing. Not only Sirenscape, as you could hear at the moment, we like to use other sources of music as well. And if you head over to the VODs on the YouTube channel, excuse me, go. Links for all of those are listed in the information there. Now, that said, let us have a quick recap of what's going on with these three adventurers before we jump into today's session. They had been trudging through the Underdark, having escaped from the Drow slavers' camp, and with various other escapees in tow, they have been moving around the Underdark, delivering them back to their homes, and realizing that all is not well, that there is an abyssal incursion going on, and the effects are being felt already throughout the Underdark. And as they've travelled, they have found themselves at the Sverfneblin, the deep gnome city of Blingdenstone. Arriving at the gates, they were admitted thanks to their Sverfneblin friends, Jimjar, Topsy and Turvy, and also because of being on the run from the Drow, something that the deep gnomes can deeply sympathise with. They were led through the defensive maze at the entrance to the city, and then headed off towards the Digramatok Hall, the leader's hall. On the way, they witnessed a haunted house. The burrows and all the little dwellings that the deep gnomes have here, tunneled throughout this Swiss cheese of a city, in the rock faces and caves that they have here. They saw that some of them were not in use because, unfortunately, this city was once wiped out by Drow invaders after the deep gnomes sided with a nearby dwarven citadel in the fight against those followers of Lolth. And as that combat tore through the city, many restless spirits were left here in Blingdenstone. Some of them benign, but some of them angry and violent and a danger even to their own kind. They continued on and did a little sightseeing as they visited the Speaking Stones, a ancient stone circle predating the city itself, and they met with Gurnik Tapfinger, who was in charge of that site, a member of the Stoneheart Enclave, a subterranean, what's the word I'm looking for? Side kind of group of the Emerald Enclave, which is the main druidic organization in our world here. And they are focused mainly on subterranean things and the caves and all of the flora and fauna down here instead of up on the surface. As they visited this spot, Corbin, as also a druid, decided to take the opportunity to commune with a crystal that they had been given by stone giants back in the Durgar city of Grackelstuck. Meditating within the stone circle, they received a vision of a vast structure and heard voices beckoning to them from far off in the Underdark. A non-malevolent force, it seemed. As they finished and became attuned to this stone speaker crystal and discovered its magical properties, they went to leave the Speaking Stones, but as they did, the stones themselves became animated, turning into a huge earth elemental that has been corrupted by some strange force present here in the ruins of the city called Ogramok's Bane, that is corrupting elementals that the deep gnomes like to use so much. They defeated the creature and carried on to the main hall, meeting with the leaders who promised to help them and continue to aid them in their quest to get back to the surface world and back to their homes if they were able to help out here in the city, because their hands are too full. They have the restless ghosts, they have Ogramok's Bane corrupting the elementals, they have a group of were-rats left in the ruins here as well that they're trying to deal with, and an incursion of all kinds of oozes, gelatinous cubes, black puddings and the like, which seems to be focused in the northeastern area of the city. As they finished, talking with the adventurers, they bade them take rest and take sustenance as well at the Foaming Mug, which is an inn in the city designed for foreign visitors, with higher doorways and ceilings, and lovely hot spring pools in the rooms, thermal pools, fueled by the Underdark's hot springs bubbling up from beneath. An evening of raucous Dark Lake Stout enjoyment and occasional acid breath problems was had by all, and eventually they retired to their rooms, the only guests, the only foreigners at the moment here in the city. As they all started to drift off to sleep and go their separate ways, Elora and her highwaywoman friend from the surface world, Esmeralda, decided it would be a fun idea, maybe a good idea, to take Corbin's red dragon egg, a red dragon egg that they had liberated from Grackelstuck, knowing that it was just going to be enslaved and used to power the forges and the fires of that city. They took Corbin's egg and placed it into the warm waters of the hot pools, and the steam and the warmth seeping through their bodies sent them to sleep as well as Zakaran and Corbin in their beds But it was not such a restful sleep, as they were visited by unfortunate dreams. Zakan got off the lightest, I think, as he received a vision of a ghost of the city, but not a malevolent one. A guardian, a protector of the people, such as Zakan is himself, bidding him to come to the central chapel, also dedicated to the Stoneheart Enclave, so Corbin would be interested too. The central chapel in the city, which is named the Ruby in the Rough. And as Zakan spoke with this ghost, in the nearby chamber, Elora, snoozing comfortably in the warm, hot spring waters, was visited and threatened by the evil entity, Ogromok's Bane, that bade her leave this place, his place. And when asked what they wanted, what they were all about, it was death, death, death. Corbin, snuggled in their bed, had a visit from their red dragon wormling, as yet to their knowledge unhatched. But the wormling was excited to hatch, excited to be born into the world, wanting to unleash its fire and all of the red dragon goodness into the world. Now Corbin insisted that that only be on evil people, and to try and keep it in check as best as they could. But the wormling insisted, but today is my birthday. Read it.
Mommy's big boy. It's daddy's big boy's birthday.
As we left Corbin's stream, we soar beyond through to the back of the chamber where the hot springs are bubbling away peacefully, hidden by one of those nice Norrin curtains. A glow, red, orange, growing brighter and brighter. I wonder why it was that our good friend DM Charlie sent me this postcard.
Why?
Nice. And as the glow grew brighter and brighter still, we heard our NPC friend Esmeralda's voice scream, Elora!
Sunburn is just really bad.
And that is where we left things. Now, before we dive into a new year of adventures, let us meet the players and see who they are, who they're playing, and where they're at right now. As I say, quick hello, Orangey and Charlie, welcome, welcome. It's good to see you. So, Corbin.
Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. It's me. New Year, same buns. And I play Corbin, our changeling monk / druid, and soon to be, hopefully, wormling papa. I just would prefer to not. It's fine. They came here on purpose, meaning that they walked into the Underdark via their lovely Tomb of the Unknown found in their monastery, and have been sort of taming it on accident ever since. They found a really close connection with the Underdark, both after they merged with a myconid spore, and also just the people and the things down here they have yet to really experience. I guess they know of the horrors done down here, but they're really hoping to see past that and help their friends Zakan lead people through.
Okay. Taming might be a generous word, but let's move on.
They know what they said.
Zakan, please.
Hi, Happy New Year, everyone. I'm Steven, and I am playing Zakan, the Aasimar cleric and ranger, who has been down here in the Underdark for over 100 years. They were born with the divine mission to lead people to the light where they need to go out of the Underdark. And so as tired as they can be with Corbin sometimes, they can also use the help. They've been alone for a long time, and I think they're enjoying teaching Corbin about this place that is their home, as scary and awful as it can be.
New Year, same microphone.
New
Okay.
Year.
New Year's
Yep.
Eve, New Year's Eve.
Hi, baby.
Careful, mate, careful. Yes. Okay, thank you, everybody. And last but not least, Elora?
Hi, I'm Sam. I think I'm playing Allure. She's from Draenor, a now destroyed city, which she ran away from to start an outlaw band with her very, very smart colleagues, such as Esmeralda. Make very good choices together. Some of those choices led them to the Underdark, where they were captured by the Drow and met these lovely people. I would like to say Allura, it's put into her backstory that she is a little impulsive. 90% of the time, she is cautious and skeptical, but when some sort of emotion brews, whether it's a very positive one or a very negative one, she does some impulsive things. So I'll just leave it at that.
Noted.
Laura, you're supposed to be Corbin's impulse control. It cannot be the other way around.
Allura's been very enthusiastic about the dragon from the beginning. So she's
I know.
good
I'm
at helping you with
Charmello. I've decided it's Charmello. I'm picking this
that.
Thank you very much. Okay, now, as we get things going here. Hey, RNG. Good to see you. It was nice to catch your stream yesterday. Everyone, do check out RNG for some fun D&D and lots of other games and things going on there. Good gaming streams as well. And, of course, our good friend DM Charlie there as well, doing some fantastic games as well. Rhyme of the First Maiden and etc, etc. Now, everyone, let us quickly do this. Let's bring that down a notch. As we skip back in time just a little. Our view previously of the slumbering Corbin, having left their dream, shifts through that Norren, brushing it aside, and we see the naturally formed rock pool with the hot, slightly sulfur-tinged air thick in the chamber. And the water bubbling and lapping gently as the hot spring bubbles up from beneath, overflowing off into the drains outside the spacious pool. In the pool, we see two slumbering forms and a large, deep, deep red egg with little hairline cracks just starting to glow. As we look at this scene, there's a little pinprick of light, like powder snow, tossed up by the wind and caught in the first rays of the New Year's sunrise, which is a very specific description, which I witnessed a few days ago. And as these little motes of light sparkle in the air, seeming to emerge into the space almost through the rock walls of the chamber themselves, they also start to glow red. And they become thicker, more dense, more prevalent throughout the space, centered over the pool, centered over the egg. And we see Esmeralda stir. Her eyes sleepily open as she looks up in wonder at the beautiful, sparkling display in the air over the waters. Another mysterious delight of the Underdark. One more thing to add to all of the amazing experiences, all the amazing things that they've seen. As she watches quietly, not wishing to disturb Elora, who's still sleeping peacefully across the other side of the pool, the small motes of light start to gently swirl, lazily traveling through the air around the dragon egg. And they start to glow a little brighter. And as they do, those hairline cracks on the egg also glow a little brighter. But it does not stop. It gets brighter and brighter. And as the motes start to swirl faster and they glow more and more intensely, there's also a voice, a deep, ethereal, malicious voice. Death. Death. This place is mine. And as Esmeralda hears that, and the intensity of this swirling and this light grows more and more, and the egg's cracks start to glow more and more, she realizes something very bad is about to happen, and she screams, "Elora!" And you, Elora, roused by your comrade's warning cry, and having the dexterity and reflexes of the rogue that you are, could you please roll me a dexterity saving throw?
Do I have inspiration right now?
Yes, you do. But
I
you can decide after the roll. You'll see the first roll first.
I can just. That's a 13, so I'm gonna use it.
You're going to use your inspiration? Okay. Everyone, if you wish to give our players inspiration, or me, or disadvantage, you can use your Dream Pie channel points to do so. Second roll.
A 23.
23. As you hear your friend's cry of alarm, you open your eyes, you see the air above you buzzing with these small motes of light, the dragon egg, the cracks getting wider, small beams of light starting to emerge through the shell of the egg, and you can see that it's clearly escalating to something. And as it starts to crack, and you hear the physical sound of the shell cracking, with those reflexes and Esmeralda's cry, you thrust yourself off the edge of the pool and under the water. And as you open your eyes, submerged beneath the hot springs waters, you see the entirety of the cavern above the rippling surface explode into a huge fireball. And as the flames rip through the room and tear through the whole space above, the warmth of the water becomes almost intensely unbearable as it's superheated by this explosion. But that's all. And holding your breath and desperately, backpedaling to keep yourself under the water, you look across and you see that Esmeralda has done the same. And as you see the fire die down, the flames disappear, the darkness of the chamber return, you burst through the surface of the water. Esmeralda doing the same. You're right, boss?
What happened? How did this happen?
I think we have a new member of the party. And you follow her gaze to the center of the pool, and coiling up from the water is a long, red-scaled neck and an elongated snout, a frilled crown, and little puffs of steam erupting from the red dragon wormling's nose.
What did we do last night? What? It's hatched?
Corbin, Zakan. Corbin, definitely. You heard this explosion. Zakan, with your, the constant awareness and constant paranoia that somebody's doing something stupid, you...
Perception is specifically focused on that.
You also become aware that something has happened. Corbin, you get to go first because you're closest.
Like monk speed away. I can run so fast, but also yes, explosion. Where is everybody? Run! Could I do a dash? Just like
you can see the remnants of that curtain hanging in the doorway, burning still. They're just the edges charred and little flames.
They're in your room.
Oh,
which
no.
is
Yeah, this is your
room.
room.
Thank you. It's like it's wait.
Yep.
You're in your bathtub.
I feel like it's just like one of those like they like I would like to roll to stop, drop, and roll my room so that it can stop being on fire.
It's okay. I mean, down here in a deep gnome city, it is predominantly stoneware, so it's doing pretty well.
But the scene does sort of play out very much so, just like Corbin suddenly like flopping into the room. Oh my God, what's wrong? What's happening? Like slides across the floor, tries to get up. Elora.
Elora, you see Corbin just come sliding. He's like Tom Cruise sliding.
Does Corbin do that thing where like the blankets are all tangled in them? Like they keep trying to stand up but keep tripping.
I'm trying to step out the fire, the curtains, and I'm just like, what's happening? It's like the most ungraceful you've ever seen.
So Corbin, as you go barreling into the room, you see Elora and Esmeralda in the hot spring, looking shocked and soaked. They're both completely drenched with water. And in the middle of the pool, you see a red dragon wormling.
It's gonna sound like such a jerk thing. And then Corbin would be like, everyone close your eyes, no one look at it.
And you do see, actually, as you go running in there, you do see that its eyes are still closed, adjusting to their new surroundings, it seems.
They're rambling. They're just like, everybody's okay, nobody's dead, everybody says all 10 toes in the
So you just jump into the water.
kind of step like no, they've been talking, but they stop for like a second and like look between the two of them and go, I can explain why y'all had my egg in like 5 seconds. Just let me have it.
Nice. Okay.
Maybe.
And Corbin, with inspiration from our friend DM Charlie. There you go. Happy New Year.
Yay!
And for Lord.
Sorry if my connection is breaking up.
Seems okay.
We got you now.
Okay.
Seems okay.
Thank you, Charlie.
Sorry. My house did another wiggle, and so
it's a bit windy around your spot. Okay. So, as
it windy.
you're wading into the water because it's quite a large pool, so the wormling is a little ways off.
I'm going in the water. I don't have on shoes, so I can't
like a trail with you.
I'm good.
Yeah, you plunge.
Clothes wet, arms out, hands gimme. Like
you plunge into the water and start wading through quickly. Zakan, you come into the room at this point.
Yeah, and I think they just got their cloak like thrown on, like no armor or whatever. And their staff is lit up, and they're like, "What happened?" And I think they can they see all the way back to where like the wormling and stuff is.
I think
Like they can see
from the
scene.
doorway, no, but if you run into the room, you'd be able to see. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
it's
then,
like all of the
run
noise
through.
being made back there. You definitely just see
Yeah.
them going towards. It's like,
So they burst through the burnt curtains and they take in the scene. And after a moment's pause, they go, "It's going to be a lot harder to hide now."
Esmeralda says, "Yes, it is. If you don't mind."
Mind what?
Alora goes and grabs
It's
some clothes.
monk, right? I'm gonna say we're on lycanthrope rules. Like, what are body parts? Like,
yeah. Well, they're in your room, so they can't complain at you.
that's fair. They're like, yeah, Zakan, give us some privacy.
And
It's not a red dragon, but like.
Corbin, you could have at least let us know that you were planning to hatch it overnight. We had no idea
But
what was
I
going to
didn't.
happen.
This wasn't me. It was, and then that's when they like just turn over. These two.
I have to be honest, I don't remember anything from last night. Esmeralda, do you remember how this happened? Was this your idea?
Yes, it was.
Okay,
I'm sorry,
so
does
that mean that I need to start?
Okay.
Because the last I checked, the egg was in the bag, but now you guys have it out of the bag. And unless your new nickname is going to be Alora, Queen of the Kleptos, I don't understand how you had my egg.
Corbin, I'm sorry. We just thought it would be more comfortable in the warm water.
Oh.
Well,
As
it's
this-
here now.
As this
So,
basically, I'd say it's probably kind of golden retriever sized at the moment. So Corbin, you can
I
actually
have to
kind
call
of
my
bundle
dog
it,
in here.
bundle it
Oh,
up.
hold
Well, real life fur baby.
Oh gosh,
In place of dragon baby.
Oh no, it's golden retriever, puppy size, golden retriever.
No,
puppy.
no, full grown golden retriever sized. It was
Okay,
a big
so
egg.
this-
It was a big
this-
egg.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah. And as you do, and its long snake-like neck is kind of like moving around, and then the snout points towards you, and cautiously almost, the red scaly eyelids fold back, and two dark pools of eyes lock with yours, Corbin. Still there? Okay, good. So, froze for a second. And there is a gust of hot breath blows your hair, and the red dragon wormling snakes its head in and rubs up beside your neck, nuzzling its mother or father, depending on the day of the week.
Depending on the day.
Yeah, its parent. There we go.
For a second, you think the wormling made another noise, but then you looking at Corbin going, ah!
Okay. Esmeralda's clambered out and wrapped herself in her cloak. Laurie done the same?
yes, Alora went and grabbed clothes.
Yeah. She's like, okay, Zakan.
Are you all uninjured at least?
By
Yes.
some miracle.
Oh,
I mean, my trust might be a little bit broken, but I found something.
I hope you all had plenty of rest. It's going to be a busy day. And they'll leave the room to like go get ready.
Okay.
Right? It's like, I see I have breakfast. All right.
And as you do leave there, go to leave there, Zakarn, Let me get the name right. Where's her name? Oh yes, Tappy. Of course, I forget. Tappy. Tappy comes just belting up the stairs from below. She's like, "What? What in the dark depths happened?"
I'm like rapping.
They're like all standing in front of the dragon, like trying to like not make it suspicious.
I'm like trying to get his wings down so I can swaddle him. Like, just come here for a second, just 1 second.
It just looks like the full-on like body print of a sea urchin. It's just these spines of blasted soot coming out of the doorway of the back chamber, and she's like, "What did you do to my room?"
Oh, we'll clean it up. We'll clean it up. Don't worry.
A little wild night last night. I don't hold my. She should remember my acid.
Yeah.
But I have a really bad, and I'm just gonna make the noise.
She instinctively ducks out of the way. She's like, "Ah, maybe a hearty breakfast will settle that stomach."
Anything to soak up all of this noise.
Right. And she disappears off and runs back the way she came.
Oh yes.
I think Corbin, you think with the way that the kind of the general kind of attitudes were towards the dragon in Gracklestug, because the dragon did emerge from that cave and just like lazily flap around the city, lighting the furnaces and keeping all the fires going. You think you probably if you don't suddenly spring it on anyone, you do think it would be okay to be with what was the name?
Charmello.
Charmello.
Like a charred marshmallow. It's Charmello.
Charmello. Okay, you think that's Charmello might not cause such a stir. Might be okay.
Okay. But also gonna need to find out how to make people think he's a different colored dragon.
Paint.
Oh, wait, and actually, do you think look at all this lovely soot? Could I roll to maybe they make him think it's a game to roll around in the soot so his scales are darker and not bright red?
You could, but I don't think black dragons are much better.
Are they? Hold on, wait a second. You're right.
You need to make him look like a ruby dragon. Ruby.
Would Zakan think that, like, given how sort of secretive the Sverkneblin are, that, like, at the very least, word probably wouldn't get back to Gracklestug that fast or anything?
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Because
they're not going to go whispering.
They're actively looking for it.
There are connections there because, you're delivering something from Gracklestug to someone here. So there definitely are connections.
Yeah. So I think, before they do leave the room after having sent Tappy, after we've convinced Tappy to leave, they turn around and say, "You'll need to have some kind of story about where that dragon is from that isn't the place where it's currently being searched for."
I mean, to be fair, I'm from the world spine, so I could just say I brought it with me.
Yeah. It would be...
Travelers pass through all the time.
It's a good 2 10-day journey to Gracklestug from here as well.
It would take a while for the news to be passed.
Yeah.
But...
People will be curious, and an easy lie will work just fine. Light on details, not too complicated, and we all need to agree on it.
Could we construct some sort of, I don't know, cage or cart and then put a cloak over it and Webster could carry him about?
I don't think I want these two mad at each other. One day he's gonna be bigger than Webster.
True.
Having him walk with me, I don't think it could be fine. A cloak might work. I mean, a cloaked dragon is just mysterious and maybe shy. I'll say whatever we agree about where he's from.
I think something with the World Spire and, I don't know, getting it to perhaps a client amongst your connections or something like that.
Yes. I feel like I should have, like, out of game actually done this, where I'm like, history on Red Dragon, so I could.
That's a good character.
just not even knowing, or just like, what did I read in the book about Red Dragons? One, like it's like a little kid's book about the different colored dragons.
Then I think, you know, as they're going to leave to get all their armor and equipment and stuff together, they take another look at the wormling and Corbin, and they say, still quite a magnificent sight. Not something I've ever seen.
Little proud smile thing. He was like, that's cool.
All right, well, breakfast, yeah, we have a lot ahead of us.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to fix the room.
Yeah, I'll help. Esmeralda, let's clean this.
Of course.
Suppose this is our fault.
You suppose. Like they're starting to like put the other thing that rolled out with the egg the night you guys picked it up because it's just still on the floor.
Laura remembers nothing. Like I guess.
But Esmeralda says, you know, it might not be entirely our fault. There was something else at play here. It wasn't... I mean, I don't know about how dragons hatch or anything, but there seemed to be something else more than just the dragon, just the egg.
I did have a disturbing dream before this all happened.
What of?
It was Ogremore's Bane who came to me.
What's that?
Some very dark force that is trying to take control of the Underdark and said they wanted to bring upon death.
Doesn't sound too dissimilar to what I heard. There was something in the air, almost like a gas, particles, floating specks of light. But I heard a voice wishing death, telling us to leave. This was their place. Do you think it's the same?
Sounds like what I experienced. It could have been that energy that forced the egg to hatch earlier than it would have.
Corbin, did you hear anything about this malevolent force? Isn't it what the druid mentioned about the rock creature?
You're right. But shouldn't that have been taken care of when I... Oh wait, did we ever get to the point where we actually sink that large crystal that he gave us? We did that.
Not yet, no.
That's what the huge fight was.
No, that was just a creature that attacked you in the stone circle. The priest asked you to go into one of the unpopulated areas of the city and reclaim a temple. So you haven't.
We still got a whole dungeon.
Yeah, no, we were this was the break we were taking before that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like.
By the way, everyone, do take the benefits of a long rest.
Okay.
Yeah, Ogremore's Bane wanted to kill you, but not disturb your sleep patterns.
It's nice.
Oh. Understood. You know, need that full 8 if we're gonna give him what for. But then, what they were gonna say is, shouldn't that have cleared out when they synced up with the stone? It probably has something to do with, including me, everything that's being drawn towards the southwest. Northeast. Wow, that was just the exact opposite.
northwest as the map is drawn, because it's skewed 90 degrees clockwise. Mm-hmm. Which is easier? Okay. Is it easier just to look as we're looking at it, or to go with as it's drawn? Because I can do either. I think just looking
Probably
at it as
we're
the regular.
at it, if we're following the map on Roll20, so we actually know which.
Yeah. So northeast as we're looking at it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, shall we go there?
Definitely has something to do with what's in the northeast. Me, on top of everything else around here, seems to be pulled over there. Whatever's there is probably what's starting to infect this place.
So yeah, you're down here. Where this is where the tavern is, the inn.
Okay.
In the southwest corner. Now, safe drive, pups. Okay, now as you as you clean up, and there's plenty of water to scrub the floors with and things, and it and there are like the Japanese hot springs. There are like some very stiff bristled brushes in the corner. And it's very easy just to splash the water out from the tub and just brush away the soot. And it takes a bit of backbone, but it's not impossible. And just as you're finishing, you do get a rather good waft of the smell of breakfast coming up from below.
Khan knocks on the door frame as they're finishing and says, "You all done cleaning up in there?"
Didn't help.
Did not help.
It took you that long to get ready.
Yes, meditations and rituals. You usually sleep through them, but yes.
It's as good as it's gonna get. I mean, for the sake of the story, I could actually just kind of throw a couple drops of acid in certain places, so they thought that, or is that not what we should be doing?
Well, probably no more acid, I would say. If it's clean, I think they are fine.
I'll just leave them a very nice tip.
Anything at all would be a tip, because remember the leaders were paying for you. Okay, so you make your way down.
And not getting their funds back.
And are you taking Charmello with you?
I'm not gonna leave him in the room by himself.
Figured.
Right now, I'm basically pulling one of those backpacks on the subways in New York. Like, he's in the bag with his head can pop out if it wants.
Sure,
we'll say what the story is.
That's cool.
But it's just like, come on,
your monk side of your
Mhm.
brain is thinking this is good training as well.
Right? A moving target is just good for speed.
Sagan, you haven't sung it yet.
Sing it.
Yeah, Charmello's singing in the Corbin's ear. I can be your backpack while you run. Sorry.
I'm just gonna ban the rest of this game. Is just gonna be Corbin and Charmello banjo kazooieing all over the Underdark.
Heck yeah.
And you you make your way down, and Tappy comes over. She's like, just put the brushes over there. I'll clean them off. Thank you. What happened?
It was a really wild night. We haven't drunk in such a really long time, so we kind of lost a bit of it. But we were celebrating.
Well, now, we haven't had any foreign visitors for quite a while, but in all the visitors we had before that, none of them exploded after a night of drinking. What happened?
I just somehow got magic, and I think this is only my second time drinking. I don't think I should do it anymore.
Was it or was it not anything to do with the newly arrived red dragon on your back?
What?
We touched
I thought we had a cloak on him.
He just
Close
his
his
head
back.
just snicked
Can we
out.
roll deception? Can we roll deception?
Newbie,
No, we
Right.
already said that it's fine.
newbie got to shouldn't do it anymore. Is that the magic or the drinking? Good question. Good see, newbie.
Right? It did. It seems this little guy rolled into a bath, and happy birthday.
So, you smuggled a red dragon egg in here on the verge of hatching?
No, we didn't know it was gonna hatch.
So
I
what
had
caused
no
it to
plans
hatch?
to hatch it. It rolled out my bag and into the bath that they fell asleep in. And they look like a kid who's been caught. Like they're like
No,
they
Esmeralda-
finally just said the
Esmeralda-
truth. Like it
Esmeralda
rolled out
steps
my
forward.
bag.
Esmeralda steps forward. She's like, I'm sorry. It was us. We thought it might be more comfortable in the water. And, you know, it likes the hot
This
environments.
sounds like a drunk story. Come
was-
on.
It was my fault. I'm sorry. She's like, and Tappy's like, yeah. So the onsens bring out the. Okay. Maybe that's a sideline. We could do if we have one of the chambers prepared special. Like we could do it. We could do a dragon hatchery. Maybe we could bring up some new business.
Tourism, yes.
It would be very thoughtful. I'm sure many people would appreciate such a service.
We could prepare a special menu. You know, a dragon baby shower. You know, wormling showers. You know, special.
Maybe only if somebody says like the secret password. It's
Yeah.
like a secret
Um,
deal.
Sorry, before I forget all this, here's your breakfast. And she puts out there's like a big mushroom steak and a side of smaller button mushrooms, and then water. In the
That's the special part of this breakfast.
225 games. Dragon Baby Shower is my new band name. It's a good one. It's a good one.
I will go see you. I just like
Yep.
to say,
Motion right
Dragon
down the
Baby.
front. Down the front.
Your fans are called Wormley.
Yes. And then yeah, and there's you know there's you know big slices of thick cut bread with butter, because you have the I'm trying to remember the name. Can anyone know the name? What's the name of that cattle that they have in the Underdark here? They have a special kind of cattle.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
it called?
I've mentioned it a couple times when Ignatius was still around.
Right, it's in the Dritz books as well. I can't remember. Anyway, yes, they have cattle down here, so they have butter and things. So there's a big bowl of butter and these thick slabs of bread, with the
Roth.
Yeah,
okay,
Rothe.
Roth. There you go, Roth. That's it. Yes, thank you.
There's a little accent of twa over the E. I don't know.
No, we go with Roth. That's good.
Okay, yeah.
There was a
Rothe,
river
that's
Roth
what it
back
says,
where I was at home.
pronounced.
So
Sounds
Yeah,
more
the-
fantasy-like.
true.
Rothe. That's where it is.
And it's not it's not an Underdark name if it doesn't have an accent or an apostrophe somewhere. It's a Khan.
Fair.
Now, it's a Khan.
Proper pronunciation.
As you enjoy your meals, Tappy goes off and she's feverishly scribbling in a notebook ideas of how to do dragon dragon baby shower tourism package.
This is not a normal thing, ma'am. I don't know how to tell you that. This is very special.
Let her believe it. Let her go with this idea. Let's roll with it.
Yes,
I think this is not a big
Gosh,
deal.
they're gonna get
she's just so happy to have guests after so long that she doesn't actually care
that's
what happened.
fair.
You enjoy your breakfast and discuss what you are to do. Sakan, you also had a dream.
Yes, I think as they're eating, they say, Laura, it sounds like you saw something in your dream, something that the influence of Ogremark crawling to you.
Yes, it was some sort of dark force that was very angry that me and my sword were here and that the light doesn't belong down here, and that they wanted us out and they would bring death. It was very surreal. I don't know.
Does as you're saying that, you hear like a sharp crack as the nib on Tappy's pencil breaks. She's like, Ogremark's Bane.
Yes.
Yes, we've been.
The name that called out to me in my dream.
In what way? Are you with it? She holds up an empty tankard. Huh?
No, it was angry with me. It wanted me to leave. It told me to get out.
Oh, good. Then you must be in the right place. That thing, whatever it is, corrupts the elements. In our experience, mostly the earth, the elementals that we use for defense and in the mines. The stone speakers are quite livid about it. But maybe that's what's happened. If you were being threatened, if Ogremark's Bane's presence was here, at the same time as a red dragon, the very embodiment of fire, was born. There you go. And she slaps Esmeralda on the shoulder. It wasn't your fault at all. It was that bastard lurking in the back chambers. They say he's got a Medusa under his control. So you go be careful if you're ever adventuring out there. I'd rather have you as patrons and guests than decorations, you know? We don't want any epic statues.
I do see you say.
Aye.
Well, I am almost now sorry to say that we have been tasked with attempting to drive at least part of its influence out of here.
Really? Well, bold adventurers such as you coming through the place can only be a good thing, right? You're used to that kind of thing, eh? It's your bread and butter as such, eh?
More or less. Do you know how one might be able to get to the Ruby in the Rough?
Oh yeah, it's back near the entrance. You know, when you come out of the maze. Up in the centre of town. You can't miss it. Ask anyone up there. Go up towards the market.
Thank you.
Anything else you're looking to do? Can I help you with out? Out means anything, by the way. Sorry. It's my home dialect coming through. Sorry.
Is there, if we are dealing with something like a Medusa, is there perhaps a place that specializes in potions and protections?
I mean,
that would sell to us.
There are a few apothecaries and alchemists who like that bubbly stuff. I don't know. I mean, We don't usually have much call for that kind of thing, you know?
Surely those who are trying to clear out and reclaim the abandoned sections of the city are getting their supplies from somewhere.
True. Just takes so long, for supplies and materials to get shifted around. And recently, apparently, the caravans and things have been attacked by some very strange beasties.
So we've heard.
Yeah. We actually haven't had any deliveries for quite some time. Sorry, I'm afraid mushrooms is all we've got.
I see.
We're not wanting to cull any of the Rothe because we don't know when we'll get some new ones. Apart from naturally.
The chapel, this Ruby in the Rough, it's operated by the Stoneheart Enclave.
That's right, yeah.
Then I assume they're somewhat invested in opposing Ogremok's influence and
of course.
his control over the earth.
Absolutely.
Perhaps
There's another spot
they
as
can
well.
help us.
Yeah. I mean that spot you went to yesterday. That where you defeated that corrupted elemental. That would have been Ogremok too. I tell you, if it's not one thing, it's the next day. Corrupted elementals, or ghosts, or vicious little were-rats, or nasty oozes seeping out of collapsed tunnels. Takes a plucky lot like us to repopulate this place.
You're all doing well.
See, Topsy and Turvy look very uncomfortable when she says the were-rats, about the were-rats.
Mm-hmm. And sort of nod and turn back to the group. Similar to Laura, I had a dream that suggested I should visit this chapel, and I think they may be able to help us if we are going to be up against this Ogremok's bane.
Aren't you a potentious bunch?
You get used to it.
Right? I don't know. I dreamt about dumplings.
You should follow that tree.
I envy.
Well, I don't know. I think that kind of dream is visited on people that are able to do something about it, don't you? You look like a capable bunch.
Made it this far somehow.
Aye. You envy me. I don't envy everything you've come through, everything you must have travelled through. We've got, this city might be a bit rough around the edges, but, at least, we've got the walls between us and the rest of everything out there. Ugh, I wouldn't even want to be working in the mines. Anyway, you drained several of me Dark Lake Stout barrels last night. I've got to go and shift the taps over to some fresh ones.
Do you have any breakfast beers, Tappy?
She looks nervous. Maybe just the one?
Well, just for
For me.
Sakan. Yes, for Sakan.
Yeah, all right.
Just the one.
Please. Right. Well, and she pours you a cool mug. Hey, microbiologist. And she says, "There you go. Now, have yourselves a good day. And yeah, I'll see you tonight. Maybe something with dumplings, eh?"
That would be good.
I wonder if Zerkwood would make a good flower. It's basically the equivalent of sawdust.
Yeah.
No.
Right, well, it's the equivalent of timber, right? So, but it's, yes,
And maybe just
mushroom
the
sawdust.
blue caps. Maybe just stick with the blue caps.
So, the day is yours. What are you up to? You're gonna head to the over to the chapel.
The same. I think it might be good in seeing if they could lend us any help or
Okay.
protection of some kind. We are not as well equipped as we could be.
Sure.
Fair enough.
Actually, I wonder. It's a good question. Hang on, let me check something. By the way, I saw. Unfortunately, none of you speak Draconic.
Aww.
But learning.
Aww. But what if I have the spell languages?
Of course.
Not languages, it's something tongue. Hold on.
Or you don't know. Yeah.
And this doesn't count as speak with animals, does it?
I'm afraid not. It's not an animal.
It's still a baby, so it hasn't reached intellect level yet. So technically.
Okay, so as you finish up breakfast and head out, you are looked at coolly. Remember, we do have a reputation system in play here in the city. It was knocked up a notch by destroying that corrupted elemental, but you are still regarded with a certain amount of suspicion as you make your way out into the passages and chambers beyond. Let's switch up things here a bit. So, you make your way down the steps from the inn and back into the tunnels with those glowing lights from the various little burrows and grottos carved out of the rocks around, and the natural rock or constructed bridges arching overhead, linking various tunnels at all the various levels that are also accessed by the rough cut stone steps into the side of the rock face here. And you just see the bustlings and comings and goings of all of the various people of the city here. And let's switch this up a bit here. I think. Sorry, escape. Do you want to? Please. Sorry, my computer's trying to cope with everything going on here. So much happening. Let's just do a quick reboot. Might have changed for you already. Sometimes it does that. It changes for the players, but it doesn't change for me. It does not want to change. Like on the software it says it has changed. Sorry folks, let me just reboot a second here. Actually, is that going to work? I think even if I close this it will keep playing. On and on and on. Sorry folks, excuse us a second. Oop. Sudden disconnect. And open. Okay, take two. Right, so yes, you make your way out through the bustling caverns and tunnels of the Svarfneblin city. And hey, Rufflejax, how you doing? Came out of a Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous RPG stream. Wow. We lost some characters for good. Allura, see? I'm such a nice DM, aren't I?
Thank you for whoever gave me inspiration. I probably would have been dead if you guys didn't have inspiration. I don't know who did that a very long time ago, but
it was before, before the holiday. So yeah, thank you for that person.
I appreciate you.
All right. Oh, sorry, folks. It doesn't. Sirenscape does not want to play. Come on. Okay. Anyway, as you are walking through the tunnels here, you are hailed by someone who's much friendlier than all the other members of the community here. As you see Jim Jar just rolling his way towards you. He's like, hey, you right, everyone? Sleep well.
You didn't happen to
Some of
hear
us better
anything
than
last
others.
night?
Me? No.
Not at all.
No. What? What happened? Did I miss out?
I mean, so I want you to meet somebody.
Yeah.
Say hi to Charlo.
Eh. And he's like,
Okay.
he hatched. Will you look at that?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. You've been waiting for that.
I know, right?
Oh, I'm so glad.
Every time someone's not like, oh no, when they hear about the dragon, it makes Corbin feel like 20 times, like they get like another level of okay with what's going on. The more people are like, hey, they're like, okay.
It's good work. And yeah, he seems very happy by that. And he's like, right. And does the little thing have a name?
Yeah, I'm stuck. Charmello or Charcutio.
I don't know. Charcutio has more of a distinction about it. You know?
It's regal, right?
Yeah. So
Maybe you should let him pick.
Well, can you speak to the dragon?
Can I speak to the dragon? No. No,
I don't think anybody can speak to this dragon. Well, yeah, we could ask him. You take the dragon out, like, okay, Charcutio. To see what it does. I don't know about you guys. This is how I've named almost every pet I've ever had. I've said names at it, and the first one it went, and I went, all right, that one, okay.
It looks up at you, just like eyes just blink once.
the slow blink where it's just one eye and then the other eye.
Actually, I guess if Sam and Steven can ignore what I'm saying, I suppose I can just speak Japanese at you, can't I? As it is, that is draconic in our games. And for Corbin, it'll work fine. You have no idea what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, it says a red dragon wormling speaks draconic, but like how quickly?
That's why, yeah, right.
Right?
Note to self: would like to learn draconic. How learn speak baby.
You
didn't pick up all the parenting books?
Maybe it only speaks draconic.
I will.
If it's raised by dragons, yeah.
Right?
Maybe can learn common.
Go back to those priests in Grapplestone, because like,
my friend.
Should I find a baby dragon? Do you have any advice?
Should I find a baby dragon? Best friend Rogue, can we go rob the bad people that got on our nerves and why we have this dragon in the first place? They gotta have all the stuff. Would like to go rob bad people. Thank you.
Okay.
I mean, they taught Bemershad to speak common, so like, yeah, it's gotta be doable.
Yeah, we can teach the baby common.
We gotta sit him down for phonics lessons. Give him a little alphabet chart.
Do I just need to be reptilian? If I shape change into a dragon, can I speak it?
No. I'm not setting that precedent.
If I shape change into a Komodo dragon, is that dragon enough?
I don't know. Draconic is Japanese in our game, so maybe a kimono dragon. I don't know.
I am also a changeling. I have way too many ways to find loopholes.
Sorry, I can do this for myself. Hang on, here we go. All right. Anyway, you
let chat pick.
Actually, yeah. I mean, we've got a few people kicking around here. We could do this here. Hang on. How do we do this? It's
Chat poll.
slash poll, right? Yeah. Here we go. I'm doing it. Does that work? Right, just do that. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. So. Mistyped as Dargan. Dargan's name. Okay, so our two options. Charmello. And the other one was
Charcutia.
Charcutia. I love Mercutio from Romeo and Juliet in all iterations. So whenever I get a chance.
Okay. Always the maximum 10 minutes. Let's make it nice long one. Okay, so our dear viewers in chat hanging out there, always a pleasure to have you here, of course. There is a poll. Should our red dragon wormling be named Charmello or Charcucio? And players, you may vote as well.
Brought to you by the maker of Bombergram.
Indeed. And a quick hello to Lord Push while we're taking a break here. Oh, right. So, that is open there for 10 minutes. Please jump in and let it be known what you think. We have named we have named things on stream. We've named. Yes, I did say you could vote. We have named real life kittens on this channel before via the polls. Okay. So yeah, there you go. Chop,
and we did name Webster this way as well.
Oh, of course, yeah. Right. So, yes, everyone, do jump in there. Let your thoughts be known. Okay. So yeah, as Jim Jar's with you now, so he can take you anywhere you want to go. It's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And you are heading to the Ruby in the Rough, which is over. Yeah, where that big altar-looking thing is.
As we're like walking along, turning to Corbin, just to check you didn't have any, meaningful prophetic dreams or anything, did you last night?
I may or may not have convinced the baby to not be a murderous death machine. We're still working on the details.
What
You
dreams?
spoke to the wormling in your dreams.
Kind of. More like in my head, he was very adamant about wanting to set everything on fire. And I told him that he could, but only if he asked nicely, and it was only bad people. Like I said, we're working out the details.
Would have been a
Which
good
I'm
time
trying to
ask
remember,
its
I
name.
think is like verbatim what I said. It's like, I was like, yeah, you could totally do that if you want. But, only bad people. Ask permission first. If I say that, yes, that's a bad person, you can just destroy. You make them nice and toasty, and your older brother will eat them. But if not,
I was gonna say, yeah, Webster's gonna be such the older brother. Like he's gonna go to he's gonna turn to toast just a random NPC, so like spider leg, just boop him on the snoot. Like, no.
right after I
say
wanted
it's
to
okay.
be like when you have an older pet and a younger pet, and they go do something, and the older pet will really be like, nah, homie, they don't like when we do that. So I want Webster to be with.
That one will get you in trouble. Bust out the spray bottle.
I wish.
You have to do this when they're not around. You have to wait for mommy to leave, and then
You have to wait for them to not be around.
Do you think we can retcon our world that giant spiders can speak Draconic? They could just talk to each other.
It's a homebrew rule. I can think that's what polls are for. We just chat is involved tonight.
Giant spiders were an experiment. The production of an experiment by Dragonborn scientists long ago.
Long ago.
Far away. Okay,
They
so
figured if these things are gonna have this many legs, they should be useful.
we've got a while yet, but Charcucio's got a strong lead. We've got 88% for Charcucio at the moment.
Does it?
Everyone, if you joined us here newly, welcome. It's nice to have you here. And we're playing Out of the Abyss. And we have a red dragon wormling, newly hatched and needing a name. And we have a couple of choices that we are umming about, so we thought we'd turn it over to you fine people. So, there is the current poll going on there at the top of the chat. Do let your your votes be known. Okay, so as we as you make your way through, just following after Jimjar, he's pointing out, he's like reminiscing about things he did, it's like, oh, I fell off that bridge as I was wrestling with some friends when I was just a little fella, and he's like, kind of been that little that you only reclaimed Lingdenstone like a decade ago. He's like, well, relatively speaking, much younger than today. and it just leads you through, and you find yourselves in that massive chamber there. Now, that whole chamber where your tokens are at the moment, there's what do I need to do here? Zoom. And then get closer. Just a little bit. Oh, there we go. So yes, that whole chamber there is the church itself. This temple of their god. Hang on, which god was it? There was a name, I remember. This is dedicated to Segoyan Earthcaller, the Sverfneblin god of deep earth and nature. And as you kind of make your way through, you see that this chamber has been just beautifully designed, and just the artful way in which the natural rock and the formations of stalactites and stalagmites have been carved beautifully into just this cathedral-esque giant cavern, which is rising up above you. And I'll just switch over to this a bit more religious. And you enter, that kind of like hush that kind of just naturally falls over everything when you enter into a large church, like a big cathedral space. And you see several Sverfneblin gathered here, praying and paying their respects to their god. And you see they have small ceremonial picks that they tap against the rock as they're praying, almost like they're flicking prayer beads through their fingers. They're just like, there's this rhythmic tapping that accompanies the chants that you can hear. And as you enter the space, you see a fairly young, you'd say even younger than Jimjar, quite flustered looking priest. Although from their robes, Zakan, you would realize, from the time when you were here before, this is a very junior, like an acolyte at best, member of the faith. And you visited before, right, Blinglestone?
Yeah.
Had you been inside? Had you gained access to the interior, or just outside?
I think that they were probably granted a very heavily escorted kind of view of the inside, so they did see the city a bit before the fall. Yes. But they didn't have free reign or anything.
Okay, so yeah, you remember visiting this place. This one, definitely one of the places they would have shown you. You remember a much grander clerical figure in charge of services and everything going on here, compared to the very, very young and rather inexperienced looking acolytes that greets you as you arrive here. And they come bustling forward, recognizing you as visitors, and kind of smile nervously, and they're like, welcome to the Ruby and the Ruff. What can we do for you? I trust you're not followers of our faith.
We have been requested by Gurnik Tapfinger to assist in the reconsecration of a certain temple, the Rocklight Temple.
Oh, splendid. The Deeper God's own work. Thank you. Wow. Mr. Tapfinger, eh? Right, yeah, he's clearly highly outranked by this guy. And he's like, well, anything we can do to help? A blessing to send you on your way into the darkness?
We have heard a number of concerning things about the dangers presented by the influence of Ogremok's Bane and the threat that it poses to this entire city. What we need more than anything is protection against those very real dangers. Particularly, we are to understand there's a Medusa under its control, perhaps?
I'd heard rumors. I thought that was just silly, I thought it was just silly tavern talk.
Well, many of the rumors as of late have turned out to be worse than reported, so better safe than sorry.
And then you just see his eyes just blaze white, and his arms go out to the side, and he hovers off the ground. And lo, the wormling shall be called Charcushio. Collapses. Oh, sorry, I don't know what happened. So the poll finished.
I was like, yo, we said a blessing. Calm down. Yeah.
I was like, Ogremok's Bane is here? What's going on?
Possessing?
Like, this is a very weird response.
No.
It's good we brought the wormling here.
And you just, Corbin, you just hear a hiss in your ear.
Oh, if you're actually saying something, I cannot hear you.
Okay.
It is
Sorry.
breaking up so bad.
He was whispered. You heard Charcushio whisper their name in your ear. The wormling.
Okay.
The wormling
like,
said, "Yeah, recognize that."
Yay!
Sam, Stephen, are you okay? You're okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys get the cool effects. I can't do them right now. I'm sorry.
That was just my voice.
Oh, see.
Sorry.
It's a cool
Right,
vocal
and then a little
performance.
thing came up. Your internet is unstable.
Hang in there. Okay, so as you as you're standing here, you do. Yeah, as I say, he's offered a blessing here.
Yes, we would happily take whatever we can, and if perhaps there is somewhere that is helping to arm the city to go against these threats, we would appreciate some guidance in that regard.
Yeah.
Defense of the city, you say? What sort of thing you after?
Oh well,
What do we have?
I suppose potions. If you have any warding type items, a blessing is certainly a good start. But...
if you're after potions or anything like that, I mean, the marketplace is the best place. You know, the traders grotto. Anything that's available for sale is there.
Okay.
I can merely entreat the great Earthcaller to watch over you as you venture forth.
Yeah, that works. I mean, when I get there, am I just supposed to sit in the circle and do the same thing I was doing before and commune with the big stone? Or is there a certain thing I'm supposed to do? Because for Corbin, she after they came out of a trance, the guy was like, "Bless this unknown place," and they were like, "Yeah, sure, buddy, okay."
Yeah, Tapfinger told you needed to place the crystal that they've given you, which is not the one you're attuned to. That was the one from the Stone Giants, right?
Yeah.
the crystal that they gave you needs to be placed in a niche in this like big menhir kind of standing stone in the temple. And then he said you need to guard the temple from Ogrimok's Bane until the consecration is complete.
Yeah, while it's attuning and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if they know that that's what we're here for and they're offering a blessing, very much so would. Yeah, I think if that's what they can offer, then that's the best we can do.
Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look here. Yeah, you think
anything bad happens to you, blessing.
You think that the other temple is probably like a different god. You know, it's the one that Tapfinger follows, Kaladra and Smooth Hands. But you know, the pantheon as a whole is worshipped by them all. It's much like the Japanese style here, when they have all the different Shinto gods, and they they go to different ones as needed. But here, you are ushered forward to a series of boulders that are leveled off to make kind of seats in front of a large, beautifully carved altar, which shows just gnomish productivity. You know, mining and crafting and just all kinds of activities that go on in the city here. And you're bade sit down, and the very nervous-looking acolyte stands in front of you with the altar to their back and brings out a ceremonial pickaxe and bows their head and kind of looks up at you three.
Zakan bows his head.
Oh, you had to, yeah. Okay. And then, yeah. It's the three of you. You are versed in the old ways. Splendid.
Every time we've left such a good impression on this place.
The traditionalists love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're all over it.
And as you as you bow your heads also, he starts to chant. Earthcaller, these adventurers have been sent to us in our time of need. We are beset by corrupting influences, unholy creatures, things not of the stone. And we call on you to watch over them, guide them true, and help them to help us reclaim the city, that we may once more call Blingdenstone our home, and yours in its entirety. Furthermore. And then he steps, just shuffling across the stone, and places the flat of the pick against the top of your head. Corbin. Zakan. And Alora, you see that out the side of your eye. You see him step in front of Zakan and lower the pick down. And you stay there with your head bowed. But you don't feel the pick touch your head. What do you do?
Laura is just going to wait. just very politely.
Zakan,
You
Corbin,
said just go wait.
what do the two of you do?
I mean, what else? I think in our mind, it's like, what else are we supposed to do? We don't know how this ceremony is supposed to go.
Yeah,
So if we're just like waiting for it to
Do you look up to see what happened? Because you see he's clearly in your peripheral. You can see that he's stopped moving.
Yes, I think Zakan looks back up and says, "Is
yeah, I'm gonna look
something the
up.
matter?"
I am of the stone. I protect this place. Come to the catacombs.
Nothing is ever good
you see-
happen after someone say catacombs.
You see him shake his head, and Alora is slightly rushed. It's a slight bit of an impact as it hits your head, but not painfully so, but more forcefully than intended. He's like,
Oh no, you
sorry.
got reflex hammered. Like,
Sorry. Right, there you go. Like I say, yeah, if you want to go to the marketplace, you can pick up any potions that you're looking forward to, and then if you yeah, I see you've got some local friends. I'm sure they can point you in the right direction.
Oh, excuse me.
where are the catacombs?
Down the steps there. It's where the dead are buried.
Yes, figured. It's not nothing other than dead people down there, is it?
What do you mean? It's where the Swerfneblin dead are laid to rest.
That's it. That's all. So if something was mysteriously telling us we should go down there, we should follow that advice.
Mysteriously telling you to go down
I'm
there.
so done.
What? That's crazy.
Zakan stands up and puts
It's just,
both their
just
hands
weird,
on the
right? Like,
put their hands on the acolyte's shoulder, and then they say,
Zakan.
You
He's
have-
lying. Well, he was not lying. He's hiding something.
Mhm. So they say, "You have been given a very important message from the Deep Caller, and in these times it is important to speak truth."
Okay. Roll me a persuasion check.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my inspiration for that.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a lot better. That's going to be a 18.
18. Okay. He bows his head. Yes. You're right. I should not speak false in the temple. There are forces at work seeking to defend the city. Forces of old. Forces that were defeated here by the Drow, but linger on. You should see for yourself. Over there. And he points to that stairway behind where Elora's token is.
We will go and look.
And you see some older, fairly richly dressed Swerfneblin entering from one of the side passages, like up in the northwest there. He's like, you're right there, Wes. Welcome. What can I do for you today? And he just like flaps off in his sandals in that direction. And like just like casts one like nervous glance over his shoulder at you as he walks over there.
Well, it does seem that we are here for some purpose, shall we?
Right.
So, three of you make your way across the floor of the temple. down the time-worn steps. They're almost perfect curves on the lip of each one, as centuries and centuries of Sverfneblin feet have come and gone here, paying respects to those that went before. And there are torches guttering on the sides of the staircase. And you make your way down, and you see sarcophagi in niches and side tunnels going off, also full of niches and more sarcophagi, just countless tombs. But the main corridor, the main tunnel that heads off from the base of the stair, seemingly endless, you can't see where it finishes, as it just goes off and off through the rock ahead. You can see a figure glowing in a ethereal blue light down in the distance of the tunnel. You see it just raise up a ghostly arm and beckon to the three of you.
Does it look like what Zakan saw in their dream?
Yes.
I think they turn to Corbin and they say, Corbin, that pull you were feeling, are you feeling it now?
Am I feeling it now?
No.
I don't think we said it ever stopped being felt since I came to the city. So unless you would like for me to roll
I think
to see how strong that feeling is.
It was just when you attuned to the stone.
Okay.
It was like a one-off experience that you felt in the.
I will relay it. I will
northeast.
relay it that way then.
Mhm.
Like I felt it when I was attuning to the stone, but I haven't felt it since.
Yeah.
Wait, but that's why I took that little bit piece of our gloopy gloop friend. So at a time like this, I could let it out and see if it tried to go towards where it was being called, so we could follow it.
That's right.
True.
It's,
Now I will say
Can I do that?
the stairway that has looped down, you went down through the rock and looped around on itself. So the tunnel that's stretching off in front of you is stretching off to the west, not to the northeast.
okay.
So sorry, yeah, that's key
Hi,
point.
darling. Hi. Oh.
Right, well, I'm hopeful that this has something to do with what's going on here and could maybe provide us some guidance before we attempt to do what we're going to do.
Over there.
Would it be nice to know what we're walking into?
No, stop it.
If you'll join me, I'm happy to go first and be the one to confront this as long as you stay nearby.
Okay.
Follow the kind.
So yeah, they'll go forward, and yeah, if it's dark, they'll have their staff lit up for everyone to be able to see.
Again, it
nice and good.
seems that Sverfneblin come here to pay their respects, so there are lights.
Yeah.
Spaced far between. So, but there is a very dull glow.
And let's go ahead as we are walking forward. We're going to pop on detect evil and good for the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
So that allows to know for it's similar to there's sort of huge ping, but this is a constant one that's more localized. So it's evil and good creatures, aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet, as well as where the creature is located. You can also know if a place or object within 30 feet has been magically consecrated or desecrated.
Okay.
Just as we go.
There is a strong and very clear source of undead directly ahead of you.
Good. But nothing of the more evil variety.
Not particularly.
No fiend masquerading as a spirit or anything like that.
You don't get a strong evil sense, no.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that sort of light pulses out from them for a second, and they nod and just start heading towards it.
Okay. As you walk slowly down the corridor, the figure waits, and you see it is roughly Sverfneblin sized. And as you get closer and start to make out details, you can see that the Sverfneblin figure is clad in armor and carries a weapon at its side. And as you come closer from tunnels, burial tunnels off to the sides of where the figure is standing, 4 very corporeal Sverfneblin in cowled, hooded cowls drawn up over their heads and their robes going down, hiding their feet, step out from the burial tunnels and stand arrayed behind the figure, facing you. And they look very real. And there's no sense from your thing from them. And as you move closer, the figure, a very stern, severe-looking expression on their face, looks up at the 3 of you. You also seek to protect our city.
Grimmock's presence is a threat to us all, not just the city.
Indeed. I was once unable to protect this place. A failure I do not intend to repeat. I am Burrow Warden Yagga. And these
Hi, I'm Corbin. Oh.
These are those who would seek to be new Burrow Wardens, protectors of this place. And the 4 figures bow and draw back their hoods, and you see 4 Sverfneblin with circlets around their brow of simple steel. And they have weapons at their hip, not drawn or anything, they're not being threatening. They're standing. And the Burrow Warden, Yaggar, raises his head to you all. He has to look up at you. Raises his head up to you all, defiant chin in the air, and says, "There are things I would ask of you. Help this city that we may help you.
If we can reclaim this Rockblight temple, if we can help drive back some of Ogremok's influence and his bane, can we expect your help in resisting the Abyss and its incursions?
We Burrow Wardens are not involved in the matters of the gods. We seek to protect those who dwell and pass on in this place. There are those who need to be laid to rest. A restless spirit haunting his previous home. I would ask that you deliver this ghost to the afterlife it has refused to embrace, as it is a danger to all. There are also those lost to us. Their remains beyond our reach, on the outskirts of the city. Close by that temple you mentioned. I would have you return those remains so that they may be laid to rest properly here.
We can do this thing. Guiding people to where they need to go is what I am called to do. For this ghost, this one that refuses to move on, we are no priests. How should we handle it?
It is a malignant entity and can be dispatched as any other.
That we can handle.
For each spirit laid properly to rest, I shall answer one question. May my knowledge of the ages guide you to what you seek.
Is there any protection that you can offer us as we leave? Something to help us?
You have the skills and the tools to protect yourselves. My task is to train these would-be wardens. I shall stay here. Corbin, what happened in the end with that dead Spherifnebelin's hand, the ring?
I was given the ring but it was found by somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like it ended up at a merchant's like kiosk, and then we ended up buying it. But
Mhm.
I never actually found the hand. Well, they said they found the hand. And I was like, if you could send that to this place, it'd be great. But I never actually like found the hand.
Okay, so you have the
I
ring.
do have that ring.
Mhm.
Why is the ring acting funny?
I just double checking how that was left.
Okay.
Okay. And as the spirit draws itself up straight, looking at you as if you should leave, the 4 trainee wardens melt back into the darkness of the tunnels. And you make your way back along the tunnel, up the stairs, and back to the room, or the main room of the temple above.
Sometimes these sorts of things can be like that. It seems that we are on our own for confronting this presence.
Seems as though we have multiple reasons to follow through with these tasks, gain favor, leadership, the spirits, hopefully some answers.
Yeah. Answers are nice.
Okay. And as you emerge back into the temple, the acolyte comes flapping over in his sandals to you once more. So, did you meet the Burrow Warden?
We did.
Please keep that to yourself. They wish to be properly trained before they approach the Digamatox to see if they can be reinstated. It is a position that was disgraced when they failed to defend the place from the Drow invaders. But I believe, as does the Burrow Warden, that a new force can be created and help watch over this place.
If this city is to stand once again, it must do so on its own. We will not interfere.
So, what did they say to you?
Just tying up a few things, putting some things to rest from, well, something that the warden and I were both connected to.
What is it? I can probably give you the details.
Just a few lost souls who need to return home.
He nods knowingly. You mean, Vazuk?
Is that the name of the one inhabiting the home in the city?
Aye. He was, unfortunately, pushed over the edge by everything that happened here when the Drow invaded. And his spirit is, dangerous to everyone. It's in the residential quarter over there. And he points in the direction that you expect. Was there anything else?
just some bodies that need re-interring, proper internment, rather. But it should be near the place where we are going to confront Ogre Max Bane.
Yeah, they did say something about something, out near Rocklight.
Indeed. Should we survive our encounter, then we will bring them back.
Appreciate it. Well, like I said, Trader's Grotto is that way. And the Earthcaller will be watching. He bows. And you turn and make your way out of the peace and quiet of the temple, back out into the busy streets of the city itself. And as the sounds flood in around you again, and you make your way north and east towards Trader's Grotto, we shall stop there. A huge thank you to my lovely players here. It's been an absolute pleasure to be back with you all. And some some nice little scenes there, thank you. And we'll be back here to see what lies in store for you all, in the stores for you all, for next time. Indeed. So yes, we will be back to visit Trader's Grotto next week. But before then, do come and visit us again if you are able. We, later on today, Thursday, wherever you are in the world, we'll be back in Ravenloft in Barovia for our homebrewed campaign, Barovia and Beyond. Then, Thursday evening or Friday morning, we'll be back at the Witchlight Carnival to continue our Wild Beyond the Witchlight adventures. Then, Friday, wherever you are in the world, we'll be heading back into a different system, a non-D&D game, as we continue our Rootin' Tootin' Deadlands game with our great GM, Josh, who's guiding us through a new system and the weird West. And then, yes, indeed, Rebeljax, it's a great system. It was a pleasure to play. We've got one session before New Year, before the holidays. We can't wait to be back on Friday. Then, Saturday sees us delving back into Baldur's Gate and joining up with our Candlekeep Mysteries crew once more. And then, next week, to start things off, Monday, wherever you are, we will be doing a one-shot roulette character generation for a rather special one-shot roulette game that's coming up exactly 1 month from today, at the start of February, Sunday evening or Monday morning, depending where you are in the world. We will be doing a charity stream for the suicide prevention charity Jasper's Game Day with some rather special guests, as we are joined by Satine Phoenix and her fiancé Jameson Stone, as well as the fabulous Phoenix of Phoenix Dice, Michelle herself, Caustic Phoenix. We have an odyssey of phoenixes all together, and our very, very good friend Dead Aussie Gamer will be joining us for that session. So we're going to be rolling up the characters for that on Monday. Do come and see what randomly generated characters there are, and have your say as you roll the dice and help us decide who and what is going to be playing in that game. And thank you, Pups. I'm glad you enjoyed things. And yes, we shall see you again very soon. If you've given us a follow, do have a look at your Twitch whispers and get that followers Discord invite. And if you have not, please consider giving us a follow and keep up to date with everything going on there. And then, as we move on round after Monday, Tuesday is the Rime of the Frost Maiden, and then we'll be right back here in the Underdark next week, back in Blingderstorm. Corbin, you got anything happening this week?
This week, actually no, this is the week still of everybody sort of just chilling.
Chill.
But keep a lookout on my Twitter at honeybuns for any for some upcoming news about my Black AF and Noble game podcast coming up soon.
Nice. Excellent stuff. Okay, so yes, a massive thank you for everyone who joined us today. Thank you so much. Do stick around as we go on raiding somewhere. If you've got them, let those phoenixes fly. But until next time, we look forward to seeing you again. But as we like to say around these parts, all you see me to say. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah.